Oh my gosh, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Survivor After Show on theStreamtv. My name is Jerri Manthey, and I am flanked here by two luscious pieces of meat. Ryan Allen Carrillo.
I'll take the piece of meat, Colin.
And Justin Walter.
What kind of meat are we? If we're
Flank.
meat?
You're flank steak.
Right.
You're the left flank. You're the right flank.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You're more ribeye. Go ahead.
So, hi, as long as
please.
we have you guys' attention, go ahead and subscribe. Just push that little button down there and subscribe to theStream.tv and become a fan and watch all the shows on this network. We invite you. Why are you laughing at me, Justin? I'm going to kick your ass. We invite you to go on YouTube and list your comments and your questions, and we will answer them live if they're good, so make them good and juicy.
Concerns.
And also get on Twitter and send us all your comments and pictures. We love all that stuff. So let's jump right into it. We have a really awesome guest with us. Another female winner of Survivor, Denise Stapley. She is Skyping in right now, and she's going to chat with us about some interesting things about tonight's episode. Hi, Denise.
Hey guys, how are ya?
Hey, goofy gal.
I know. What goofy gal? What is the story behind your Twitter handle?
You know, I don't know. It was the Twitter handle that I started, years ago, and that's been my email and everything, and it just kind of stuck with me. It may not be the most professional, but it's easy to remember, so.
None of us are professional.
Yeah, no.
Clearly.
So are you goofy? Do you consider yourself to be a goofy person?
I definitely can be. I can probably be a little bit too serious a lot of the times, but, when it helps having an 11-year-old, so she helps loosen me up a little bit.
So you are well known as the sex therapist that did Survivor, and Ryan was talking before the show about something he wanted to ask you. So, Ryan, go for it. Let's hear what it is.
Not about his own sex life.
I'm very curious.
No, I have lots of questions about my sex life, but that'll be on the Survivor after show. But the turtles came up, which was the highlight of the episode, and she was talking about how it's like 1 in 100 chance, and like, oh, it's just so rare. But isn't it more rare for human conception? Isn't it like 1 in a million that like for that to happen?
Or to conceive?
No,
Yes, to
you would say
conceive.
like one
Right,
out of a
one
million
sperm out of all
No,
the-
like one
right.
out of a million
No,
sperm.
Right.
not if it's a
What?
female sperm, because the female sperm are stronger than the male sperm, so they've got a better shot. So I don't know what the odds are, but I thought the whole turtle thing was pretty darn cool myself. So
It was. I think we all got educated tonight on how rare it is for a turtle to actually make it out in the wild.
Well, the
Yeah.
fact that we're talking about sperm on the Survivor After Show just shows that we're desperate for ratings on this channel.
Oh my God.
Hashtag sperm.
We're the Howard Stern of
Oh,
podcasts.
geez. Denise, when you, I was watching and kind of thought about you a lot with kind of Jen. No, her name's not Jen. Her name is Kelly. See, I hardly forgot her name was Kelly.
The one with the gash
Kelly,
on her forehead.
did you relate
Yeah.
to Kelly with the position she was in kind of recently in the swap and kind of relate to
Yeah.
her from your experiences of going to the bottom of every tribe but still making it to the end and winning?
Definitely, because she has to, when I watch her play, we haven't really seen a lot from her other than when she got hit last week, but she really does. It's like she has to play this kind of quiet game for a while, and then to hear that alliance with Mike was still so strong.
Yeah.
I can completely relate to that. It's like, oh my gosh, because I know for myself, I was banking on that with Malcolm, that we would eventually get back and I could reconnect and try and just reconfigure things and start over. So absolutely, I connect with that with her. So I'm hopeful that she can keep making that work, but we'll see after tonight. So.
I think Kelly's going to go really far this season. Like after she got hit in the head that episode, she gained so much of my respect.
Yeah.
And I'm rooting for her.
Maybe that's why she couldn't remember where everything went. She had a head injury.
I don't
Denise,
think I don't think she can win though, because in the first 4 episodes we didn't even know who she was, and you have to know who the winner was. But we've been saying all season that Joe is basically Malcolm Part 2. Would you agree with that?
Completely. He looks like, and we just had the discussion downstairs, my daughter said, his face looks like Malcolm's brother Miles kind of reminds her of that, and the hair is Malcolm, the personality is Malcolm. He's got that social game. He's definitely kind of diplomatic and able to kind of adapt with everybody. So yeah, completely. I see him as Malcolm, but Kelly, definitely, you're right. We haven't seen much, and that's typically part of the narrative. We would think we would see more from her if she's going to go a long ways, but I still could imagine her making it farther, just because she hasn't seemed to rub anybody the wrong way. She's pretty quiet. She seems to be able to blend and adapt a little bit. So I don't know.
Denise, we have a question for you, or just maybe a comment from YouTube. A guy named Sean McHale says that no one has heard from you in a while, and they think you're a very underappreciated winner.
Oh.
Do you feel underappreciated in the Survivor community?
No, I feel more than plenty appreciated. So no, I'm good. I'm good.
Let's all, everyone at
figure-
home, let's give Denise a bunch of appreciation. Follow her on
No.
Twitter and send her comments and pictures all night long.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I really, it's funny. I'm pretty active on Facebook. I haven't been as much on Twitter. Life just got a little crazy and busy for us. But no, I feel plenty of appreciation. And the reality is, I made it to the end. On a lot of good luck and some timing, and I'm just thankful to get there. And people have been way too kind. So no, I'm good.
Oh, geez, so
well, Denise,
humble.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And
Hey, thank you.
I love catching up on your family news on your posts on Facebook.
Oh my gosh, sometimes I probably overshare a little much.
No, it's good. It's good. I think there's a lot of people out there that can relate to some of the things that you deal with your parenting techniques, which I think are awesome. So thank you so much for taking some time and being on our show tonight.
Yes,
Hey, you
thank
bet.
you.
So excited
Thank
for
you.
guys. Love you guys. Get back on iTunes for me. You bet. See ya.
I know, I've used her parenting techniques in dealing with you guys. It's been really, really helpful.
What tough love?
Tough love.
We've had to exercise a lot of patience in raising him as well.
Yeah, I know,
Good.
but we promised tonight that we would not pick on Justin.
Oh,
so.
geez.
True, because he does cry after the show.
That's the truth. I've been crying a lot this week.
Oh my gosh. So, all right, we opened on the show. It was all about Shireen. Shireen. I thought for sure she was going to go home tonight. It was, what was the whole thing with her? And
Well, she was relating it to feeling like she grew up in Orange County with all the pretty girls, and she always felt like an outsider.
Like Orange County's the new Iraq or something. You know what I mean? Like, God bless her.
And there was a tweet that I think we have later, but it was just kind of like, it's hard to feel bad for you. Yes, maybe you were an outsider, but it's hard to just didn't feel bad for her. I don't know.
It's hard to feel bad for someone on Survivor too, because you also wonder how genuine they're really being, or are they just trying to win you over and feel sorry for them?
Right.
You
And we all have sad stories. Everyone, I'm not trying to be, everyone, all three of us, everyone at home, we all have stuff that we've gone through before. And so being I felt like an outsider in school. I think everyone feels like an outsider in school.
At some point or another, you feel like an outsider.
Of course, yeah. Try to be gay in high school, people. Click.
Oh my God. So let's just get right into the reward challenge, because I was so disturbed at what the reward was tonight. Pardon my French, but it was a total shit show. When you're winning stew and macaroni and cheese on Survivor as the food you're going to eat on a reward challenge, that is bad news, people. That's all I could think about the whole time they were talking about the stew.
Just because of their digestive system?
Your stomach is
You're
wrecked.
so smart, Justin.
Yeah, I'm just pointing it
what
out
else?
in case people don't know why
they
it's
don't
a bad
know.
news.
They're gonna be shitting
They
a lot.
didn't throw up though. She didn't throw up.
I was hoping they were going to serve turtle soup, because that would have been
Oh,
very
no.
appropriate for the episode.
Inappropriate. Come
Everyone going
on.
to pretend we don't eat turtles every day?
Have you ever eaten turtle soup?
Yes, I have.
I have not.
Yes.
I
I love turtles. I
That
would
and
not
my
eat turtle
appetizer
soup.
was shark fin soup for an appetizer.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So how weird was it, Justin, for you? I know, because we always talk about this every season. Is that
wow,
at
okay.
the reward challenge, nobody was looking for an idol.
Well, no, there was no clue. Was there a clue? And there must not have
clue,
been
yeah.
a clue, because we said immediately, right when
Look
you
for a
get there,
clue.
start looking for the clue. Either there was a clue and nobody found it, so that's why it wasn't part of the show, or there was no clue. We know Jen has the hidden idol from the no-collar tribe, and Carolyn has the hidden idol. So are there going to be 3 or just 2 in play? It seems like right now there's only 2.
Who has an idol right now?
Jen and Carolyn.
Okay.
So that's 2. So maybe because now they're in 2 tribes, they only allowed to be 2, but usually they would throw a third in. I don't know,
Right.
throw a third in there.
Who knows? Just start looking.
Yeah,
people.
just look everywhere, people.
Maybe they did, but I was too boring and we just didn't get to see it.
Or they're so dense they don't find it.
But it's even, another reason why, Jerry, I think you were so, Shireen is going home, is because even at the reward, every time we went to that tribe, it was all about Shireen, Shireen, Shireen. I'm using the reward challenge as my opportunity to bond with everybody, to get better with everybody. Is Shireen now, because there's a merge next week, is she going to go further because no one's going to care about her? No one's going to see her as a threat.
She's by herself, so she's like one of the people you want to get just because they're by themselves. They're a free agent.
Yeah.
Right. And annoying people have won this game before, people. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's not, anyone could win this game. It doesn't really matter how annoying she is to her tribe. The reason why she's getting the most camera time is because whether you're this great person people love watching you or they hate you, the result is the same.
Yeah.
So that's why she's getting the
And
good
now
at it.
people are going to start going after the big threats, the big physical threats, because it's going to be individual immunity.
Correct.
All right, we'll get more into that in a second, but we're going to cut away for a commercial. So send us your tweets and your YouTube comments during the commercial break.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy, it was hot, it was heated, I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama, tell them don't go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hello and welcome back to the Stream.tv Survivor After Show. We are going to take a YouTube question.
All right, YouTube, we love our YouTubes. Thanks for getting so involved, everyone. But it seems overwhelmingly responsive, not even going to single one person out, but everyone wants to know, why did they do the merge at 12?
Yes.
Oh my
Obviously,
gosh.
what's coming up next week. We saw it in the preview.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What's the story with that? Why can't I
It's
speak?
way too soon. I don't understand. First of all, I felt like they mixed the tribes up too soon, and now it's like a merge already?
It's interesting, I think, because I think they probably believe that they have so many people that are going to be willing to play their own game. So they're hopefully going to see people switching alliances left and right. It's a huge risk because if you get people in the majority in 12, just knock off people one by one, which clearly won't happen. But I do have to say, I run reality games for a company. I've done a merge at 12, and then later, 2 rounds later, split them into tribes again. So maybe we'll see that for the first time, where Survivor merges and then puts them into teams.
Trademark that right after the show.
I need to trademark. I am trademarking that right now, Survivor. Merging and then splitting back into tribes. You've never done that. I've done that in my games with Reality Rush. And don't steal my ideas unless I'm on that team.
Give me a
You
break.
can't trademark on the internet. But I would say this about the
Mark
merge.
Burnett owns everything. Don't even try.
Right. I would say this about the merge, that once Joaquin is gone, they want the sound bites of someone to go crazy and blow up and all the fights. And like, I just think it's so much easier because I just feel like Rodney would be the next person to go home. So now the producers are giving him a chance to maybe switch tribes, to maybe ruffle some feathers somewhere else and cause a bigger stink, which will make a much more exciting episode. And trust me, we're needing some more exciting episodes coming up.
Yeah, I agree. This one was a little bit of a snoozer. You know what? Let's go ahead and do some Twitter questions and comments. What do you guys think?
Is there a studio audience?
Oh, yeah. Who are you talking to?
Oh my God, people, yes!
Oh, wait, where are the tweets? Here
I'm
we go.
always talking to you.
All right, we have Dalton Ross here, and he tweeted, I love this. Shireen giving a sob story on growing up with rich, pretty people in Orange County is the most white-collar thing she's ever done. Hashtag Survivor.
And describe who Dalton Ross is.
Dalton Ross is the entertainment guy at Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah.
And he is tight with Jeff Probst and all that.
Right.
Survivor
Entertainment
world.
Weekly hitting us up. We love that.
He's
But
been
yeah,
around.
He's just tweeting that.
That's
Yeah.
exactly my point, people. Orange County is, I mean, it's not jail. It's not it's Orange County. Calm down. It's not the project.
Oh my gosh. All right, we have another tweet from Hollywood News.
Oh, let's see. Hollywood News says, what's more important, social game or being good at challenges? Hashtag Survivor AS. I know my answer.
I think social games.
Don't keep us waiting, Justin.
Yeah,
social game,
games.
hands down.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Hands down. Because you could be like Sandra, who's not good at challenges, but win 2 times in a row.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how
Yeah,
you can
and not
argue
very many
against
people
that.
win every single challenge and then never get sent home because they're safe by immunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Rachel Riley.
Oh, Big Brother reference.
Oh dear
All right,
God!
do we have
All right,
another tweet?
Gordo sent us a pretty fun little tweet.
Yes, here's Gordo. Justin, Ryan, and Jerry, someone let Boston Rod know it'll be 3 more seasons until he'll win. Throwing some shade at Boston Rob.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, throwing some shade on it.
We love
for
the
sure.
shade. That was a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so another really controversial thing that I think happened on this episode was the whole discussion on whether or not to throw a challenge. Because we all know the history of Survivor, that's never a good idea. Like, it just never seems to work the way it's supposed to. And 9 times out of 10, the person whose idea it was gets voted out.
Yes, and it backfires on them, which it did backfire on Boston Rod tonight, but he wasn't voted off. And when we get to that, I think he should have been voted off. But
It is just such a risk.
dumb.
It's out of control. It worked for Colton too that one time too, but they didn't even throw a challenge. Didn't they just request to go to Tribal that one time?
Yeah,
Yes.
they did. They said, can we switch places with them, which was like
Right.
the most retarded thing I think I've ever seen.
You
on
know what,
Survivor.
though? I do give Mike credit for his reason for throwing it was not to get out Joe, and he didn't. His goal wasn't about who they were going to vote off, but about saving his ally in Kelly.
Now
which
that's-
I thought was
That
good.
was nice to hear because, I mean, my immediate reaction is always like, don't throw the challenge. But then when he explained that he was trying to save
Right.
Kelly, I was like, wow,
showed
I
he's
never
actually
thought of it that
right.
way.
It shows that he's actually thinking. But
Long term.
The part where I felt he was not thinking was, and you know, they're all on mics and everything else. It just seemed so obvious. I'm like, even if you're deaf, sorry, you know, deaf girl, but and you're watching the show. But I mean, you're watching the show. They are so, he's so obvious. Like, even Jeff is like, he is talking to a white wall, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what?
I didn't know that Kelly
If you're
became
ever
that.
on Survivor and you're going to throw a challenge, you got to take the acting down a notch.
Oh, like 20 notches.
Right.
It was so
A notch.
obvious.
A couple
and then he's like, here, let me tell you what the order is. But he couldn't even get it right for her. So it was so...
It was the blind leading the blind.
It was crazy.
It was also, though, strategic that she knew Mike is going to bat for me right now.
Right.
Yeah.
She knew. She said in the show, this is the most trust I've ever felt in my entire life, which is kind of a little bizarre.
Right.
But
she has a head injury.
Sad, people.
Mike could have gone. Mike could have gone. You know, at the merge and said, "I threw that for you," and she may not have realized or known that. But the way he did it, and that nobody picked up on it, I give him
He's
2
a really
thumbs
bad
up.
actor.
I
Mike,
give him
you're
2
a really
thumbs
bad
up,
actor.
though.
But it turned
He
out
pulled it
all right.
off.
Yeah. So, okay, let's just get right into Tribal.
I mean, the strategy
Right?
behind Sierra being the swing vote, I think.
It was all over the place.
No,
Well, this
I
goes
think
back
she
to this.
screwed up.
One of the questions for you is what Justin specifically, who would you have voted out
Rodney.
tonight and why?
Here's, I think Sierra, when she was approached by Dan and Mike, should have said, if you guys really want my vote and you really want to do this, we take out Rodney. What that would have done for her is then given her a strong alliance with Joaquin, Joe, and Tyler that she could have gone with, or she could have stuck with the blue collar people and taken Rodney out. So I think she made a mistake. I think she should have put herself in position and not just taken out whoever the blue collar people wanted. They don't trust you. You are being used by them. Make a move against them.
Don't you think there was also a conversation, though, that Rodney is so volatile and so out of control that no one is going to like this kid? Nobody. And so you always want to keep a target in front of you so that keep the pressure off yourself. So keep the guy around that's going to self-explode the next week anyways, or the next,
But here's my thing with that. What did she gain from her vote? She's still with the blue collar people. She didn't instill trust in Joaquin, Tyler, and Joe.
I
She could
agree
have
with
instilled
you.
trust with
But I would
them.
say all those people are hot messes, and all of them, those are the people you want to keep. Those are people who are not going to get votes at the end. Those are the people who are going to blow up a camp and get sent home. Those people are a wreck. And so you, in my opinion, you get rid of Joe, you get rid of the stronger players who are going to end up dominating the game at the end.
Joe, he's a huge threat.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
Huge threat.
obviously a huge threat.
Yeah.
I would have been like, well, whatever, I like Joe, but he needs to go.
But it
Kid
was
needs
just
to go.
funny. It was another one of those moments where Sierra is like, well, these people over here, I trust them more than I do these people in the 11 days of knowing them. I'm like, it's Survivor.
She's a little.
That's the
She's a little too emotional.
Yeah,
people.
well,
Let's calm it down.
Anytime someone's like, "Oh, but these people totally took me in," of course they did. They're trying to further themselves in the game. Don't trust anybody. That really is.
Yo, I'll be
role.
friends at Ponderosa.
What
Calm
should
down.
Jerri, from your perspective of playing the game 3 times, what was her best strategic move? What was her best strategic move tonight?
I don't know.
Make one.
No, I think either way, she's still the swing vote. She's still the person that's floating around, and nobody trusts her. So.
What do they call floaters on Survivor? Something else.
Turds.
No.
Oh, the swing vote.
No, it's called something. Someone has told me before. Tell me on Twitter, people.
Oh, on YouTube. You're live on YouTube right
Is it
now.
called an otter or something? No, that's a game reference.
No.
What are you talking
No,
about?
there's a term for it. You know, like on someone who just kind of goes along with the flow, like on Big Brother, it's called a floater. And on Survivor, a goat. Isn't it called a goat?
Going under the radar?
I've never heard this on
Under
Survivor.
the radar.
No, you don't do anything. You just go along with what everyone else says.
You're a pawn.
You're not really playing.
You're a pawn.
Basically.
You're a pawn.
But that's not the right term. Go ahead.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I always love it when someone who during the course of an episode is so cocky and so sure that they're not going home. Whenever they do go home, I'm very happy that it was them.
Right.
Just because it's so silly to get cocky on Survivor.
It's
That's like Survivor 101. You don't get cocky.
It's that and their faces at Tribal you just can't help laugh.
But
Once
now
they
we-
realize, holy F, I messed
Yeah.
up.
We lost the hashtag bromance that Survivor threw out there between Rodney and Joaquin.
That was the quickest bromance in Survivor history.
Did you think the bromance was very similar to a showmance in the sense, even though they weren't intimate or gay or anything, but like, because is it really that dangerous to get that close to somebody?
Two people,
I think that's why they wanted. Mike was threatened by Joaquin because he and Rodney were just palling around the whole time, and we're both from the East Coast. You're my brother. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
You're so obvious. Like it's just like if you're gonna, because Rodney thought he was playing every side. He was gonna take out Joe. Then he'd have Joaquin, Sierra, and Tyler. Then he'd also have Dan and Mike. And it's just you think you're the best player, and you're not. You're kind of terrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just for Joaquin. It's easier for Mike to still stick with Boston Rod instead of trying to figure out who Joaquin is. So
Yes.
I'm sure that's why he kept him around.
Well, and that's why I think tonight,
Even though he's annoying.
I think tonight, the player of tonight is Mike. He successfully threw the challenge and instilled trust in Kelly. He also got to split up Boston Rod from his new top #1 ally.
Right.
And he pulled back in Sierra.
He's
Mike,
the MVP of the
Mike
night.
is the MVP of the night, in which he's been a mess half the time. So this, I guess, hopefully will be
And needs voice
interesting.
therapy lessons, but besides that, he's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, congratulations, Mike, for being MVP of tonight's episode.
Well, and just making me think of all these conversations. We have Joaquin and Boston Rod talking about how we like getting girls and drinking together. Mike doesn't even have sex, and he doesn't like to party.
That was
In
the other
8
thing I
years.
wanted to talk about. What is this whole thing about Mike not having sex for 8 years? What was it, a religious thing?
I don't know. What's the thing? What was the two gay guys last season that hadn't had sex either with each other?
Well, they with each other.
No, but they've been together for a long time.
Oh well. On that note, I guess.
Why does that even come up
I know.
during conversation?
We.
BTW. I haven't had sex in 8 years.
I don't know how
bro.
that comes up, and why are you even telling anybody
I mean,
that?
clearly he's very religious. Doesn't he have a pastor in the family?
Oh,
He's got
that's
the
right.
psalm on his
Psalms
back.
113
And he must have
or
had some
something.
religious awakening where
I'm
he's
religious
he's
too,
celibate.
but I
You're
have
not
sex.
celibate.
You know
That's
what?
my point.
We have to remember to ask Mike this at some point.
I'll never see
on
him.
that
Let's
note,
just never talk.
I'll
about it.
never meet him, so you gotta ask.
This is a show and a
Yeah.
half tonight.
I know.
Sperm and sex.
Oh, come on.
So yeah, hashtag sea turtle sperm. Thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up tonight. Thank you for joining us again at thestream.tv. Go ahead and subscribe, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Merge. We have to have a merge feast
We
here,
are
guys.
going
Merge
to merge.
feast next week.
We're gonna drink next week for the merge.
I need to drink right now.
All right, everybody. Good night.
For more of the Survivor After Show, click that button and subscribe to thestream.tv.